Sasha, it's good to see you again. I think the last time we talked was on Shiro's.
Oh, wow. Good
Yeah,
memory, Tony.
thank you. I pride myself on a good memory, but my gosh, this film is so deep. Talk to me about your character, Louise.
So Louise is a young girl. She's quite spoiled. She comes from, at that time and for that little town, quite a posh family. And obviously her parents have their kind of path for her, you know? She
Hmm.
has to marry well. She needs to kind of maintain, the same wealth and everything. And her husband has to come from a certain background and status. And obviously, she's a rebellious one. So she falls in love with Adrian. And we're talking about, 1914, 1915. Times were really different. And she's so in love and she has a child on the way.
Mm.
And that's when the war interferes with her plans and her parents' plans. And she has to choose her own path now. And it was a very interesting role to play. And it's a very complex character. And it was a lot, just doing a period piece in general, just thinking of how they were, how their mentality was. It
Yeah.
was very interesting.
She also has a spirit about her that I think transcends time. She
Yeah.
really is a very forceful woman.
She, I think it's almost like she teleported from a different time, and then I think that's where, if I remember correctly, the suffragist movements came, like, and that's when we as girls got in power. So she was kind of that, in her little moment, because she's like, no, to her parents, I'm gonna do what I want. And then when the war happens, and as I said, interferes with her life, and she loses everyone she loves, she she understands that she gotta raise the child. She has to be strong for her baby, and that's when we see the real Louise, and not in a fancy dress, like exiting the church with her mom and dad, but we see this very strong woman. And in the end of the film, and that's we discussed it with Julie and our director, I'm like, I want her eyes to change. I want her in the beginning of the movie to be this kind of little delicate flower, but in the end of the film, I want her to be this like force of nature, and we know that she is definitely going to survive, like in every sense of the word.
Do you choose a role because the character is similar to you or totally different from you?
I think there's always similarities, in the end, because it's me playing her. Inevitably, she's going to be somewhat me,
Mhm.
I think. But we have very different backgrounds. My parents were extremely loyal, and they were like, "You do you." They left me go to Japan when I was 15 for 3 months to do modeling. So I don't think that Louise's parents would ever do this. Um, but there is always something that you discover about yourself when you play a character, because you have to really dig deep in order to play someone else, because she is a whole person on her own, and I hope I did a good job portraying it. But there is something that I think we have in common, is this kind of stubbornness. That's for sure we share. But she's so strong. I wish I could one day be like Louise.
Well, you are a terrific actress. I've noticed that
Thank you so much, Tony.
you disappear into these characters that you take on, and that's that's not easy to do.
That's the fun of it. I think every actor would tell you the same thing. We can say that it was a challenging role, etc. But there was like a moment when we're filming. It was, I think it was a night, and all of us were wet, and it was cold, and we were hungry, and that's the moment. And I just cried for like an hour, and that was the moment when I'm like, I am so happy to be here. And that's when you really love it, because it's honestly an amazing job.
In our final seconds that we have, what do you think audiences are going to take away from watching the film?
I hope they understand how horrible war is and what it does to people. And I think, you know, like every war movie ever made reminds us of, don't ever do this again. Do not do this again.
I agree. I agree. Sasha, it's always good to talk with you. You're
Thank you
a
so much, Tony.
wonderful one. I wish we could talk longer. That's my big
Me
wish.
too.
All right. You take care and have a great day with the press.
Thank you so much.